Tonight, National Assembly petitioned to look into fuel prices hike as MPs fault the new prices.
I want to say that when people are overtaxed, it's like slavery.
Speaker Muturi gives Finance Committee 14 days to submit a report to the House. Also tonight, calls for respect of the rule of law and private property dominate speeches during this year's celebration for International Day of Peace in Rumuruti Stadium in Laikipia County. But psychosocial support for teachers and learners who have been affected by the Olmoran clashes is still needed. Plus, it's a race to 2022. DP Ruto and ODM boss Raila Odinga popularized their presidential bids in Machakos and Nakuru County respectively.
Sasa, papa, ile shamba amenyakua. Sijui papa, ile nini, sijui amejua hoteli pale.
Watu wametuzoea kila wakati wanakuja kutuambia tubadilishe katiba. Ati patikane cheo ya Prime Minister.
Ann Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. To our top story tonight, and 2 passengers have been confirmed dead, while 8 others are still missing after a boat they were sailing in capsized in the waters of Lake Victoria near Paya Beach within Homa Bay town. 6 people have been rescued so far. The victims were traveling to Ndiru Beach in Bita sub-county this evening. The boat is said to have capsized about 400 meters away from the beach over suspected overloading with passengers and luggage. The 2 bodies include that of a woman and a 1.5-year-old minor who were retrieved during the rescue mission by fishermen who responded to the passengers' distress call during the incident. The 6 passengers who were rescued have been taken to Homa Bay County Referral Hospital for treatment, while the 2 bodies have been moved to the same facility but to a mortuary.
Tumepatwa na janga hapa baharini Lake Victoria. Kulikuwa na mtumbwi ilikuwa natoka Paya Beach ikielekea sehemu Sanduru na ilibeba watu. Hatukujua nambari, lakini habari tuliopewa ni kwamba watu walikuwa karibu 16. Na sasa hiyo mtumbwi ikazama mita michache, karibu mita 500 hivi kutoka Paya, na watu wengine wamefariki na wengine wamesaidiwa. Tulipopata hii habari tuka mobilize search team, rescue team, na bahati mzuri watu 8 wamesaidiwa.
Tulikuwa kwa ofisi, tukasikia nduru huko chini, ni kama boti imetazama. Tukatoka tukaenda ku rescue. Ile tumeenda tumesaidia 8, 2 wameaga.
Now, this month's steep increase in fuel prices continues to trigger reactions from Kenyans. During Tuesday's sitting following a short recess, members of parliament from both houses accused the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority of hiking fuel prices. Musa Saleh explains.
The Speaker of the National Assembly.
Members of Parliament woke up to an in-tray full of activities as they resumed their House sittings from a short recess on Tuesday. First on their list, the imposition of the new fuel prices in the country.
The recent increase in fuel products prices, Mr. Speaker, is not just insensitive, but is very inconsiderate to the people of Kenya. At such a time that our economy is at its knees, Mr. Speaker, it was despicable to see our government increasing the cost of life, Mr. Speaker, to Kenyans.
Mr. Speaker, if you remember very well, this is an act that we enacted in Parliament 2018, and we should have not had a blame game. Either because I saw my colleagues, some of my colleagues saying it's Keleweke, Tangatanga. It's not about Keleweke, Tangatanga. It's about is about our people.
Because as Parliament we are being bashed. And hence, even as we work on the issues surrounding this matter, let the committee not be driven by a feeling of guilt that Parliament imposed a tax.
On Wednesday last week, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) announced a record high change in fuel prices. Super petrol is now retailing at 134 shillings and 72 cents per litre in Nairobi, while diesel is retailing at 115 shillings and 60 cents and kerosene at 110 shillings and 82 cents. The prices are lowest in Mombasa, retailing at 132 shillings, 113 shillings and 108 shillings for super petrol, diesel and kerosene respectively.
We know the government needs money to run the government, to run the county government, to also give us money for our roads and all that. However, I challenge when we realize that at times over 80, over 70, over 50% as it's current, the cost of price of petroleum products is taxes, then we have a reason to worry. We have a serious reason to worry as a country.
Inamaanisha hizo inji zingine hawana VAT. Hizo inji zingine wanafanya namna gani? Kwa sababu tunapotoa mafuta ni mahali pamoja. Na hiyo mafuta inakuja kupitia Kenya, ikaenda Uganda. Na kama inaenda Uganda, hata Uganda inatumia gharama kupeleka hiyo mafuta kutoka Kenya hadi Uganda.
Mr. Speaker, it was said that taxation without representation is equal to tyranny. But I want to say that when people are overtaxed, it's like slavery. It is enslavement, what we are doing to the people of this country.
The president cannot use Article 115 to harass. And the whole thing is about IMF, Mr. Speaker. IMF have said we must charge VAT. This president is using his powers to make innocent hustlers and Kenyans suffer, Mr. Speaker. And this House cannot just sit.
However, a section of members of parliament claim that lack of an active opposition in government has afforded President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration the laxity to comply with the IMF new regulations to save the country from a debt crisis amid the COVID-19 pandemic, further faulting President Kenyatta's handshake with former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
And all the levies that have been there, we have not been able to challenge His Excellency the Executive as required. So basically, I blame the handshake for most of this problem, and we have not been able to challenge the executive, and we have underrated ourselves as Kenyans, and we have let down our electorates.
A colleague has mentioned there that these are the times when Kenyans miss the time we had an opposition in this country. If we had an active opposition playing their role, some of these checks and balances would have been looked at, Mr. Speaker.
Their counterparts in the Senate also slammed the Energy Cabinet Secretary Charles Keter and his petroleum and mining counterpart John Munyes as the two snubbed the upper house's summons on Tuesday to respond to queries on last week's fuel price hikes.
Mr. Speaker, it is very offensive to this House for two ministers to be invited to come to the House to deal with a matter of national crisis, and none of them turns up, not even their PSS, not even a representative to come and tender an apology as to why they were not here. One minister, in fact, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Keter, a former colleague here, simply sent a message that this doesn't concern him. This is serious, Mr. Speaker.
This issue really bothers me. It also makes me now realize and support everyone who talks about a system which is mixed, where cabinet secretaries sit here so that they can become accountable.
National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi has asked Parliament to look into the fuel pricing in the country, giving the Finance Committee 14 days to submit a report to the House. Musa Salah, TV 47.
Let us pray.
Now, a huge percentage of farmers in Embu County are likely to be pushed out of agribusiness following the unprecedented hiked fuel prices. Farmers who use power generators to pump water into their farms now say that they are forced to spend at least double of what they are used to. And Kilemi now reports.
Many farmers in Embu County are likely to be pushed out of agribusiness following the unforeseen increase in fuel prices. Most farmers in Embu are dependent on fuel to pump water into their farms using power generators. For close to a year now, farmers in Embu say farming has proved to be difficult and their cries seem to be falling on deaf ears.
Sababu ya mafuta, bei imeenda juu sana. Hapa kwangu, ili nipate maji kutoka kwa mto utumia machini mbili, kutoka kwa mto napiga na machini moja inamwaga kwa damu.
Richard Kenyatta, a vegetable farmer in Makimambere South, says he has had to reduce the amount of water that he uses on his farm, which consequently leads to lesser yields.
Shamba kama hii nilikuwa natumia 4,000 za mafuta kila siku kuweka maji. Lakini kwa sasa itabidi mafuta, sababu mafuta iko juu, sioni kama nitaweza kupata faida sababu hiyo bei vile iko juu.
Most employers have resorted to relieving their employees from work as they are unable to pay them.
Vile ushumi iko sasa na vile cost ya imeenda juu, ya ukulima imeenda juu, itabidi sasa nikate watu wa kufanya kazi.
It is not any different for Florence Karemi, a poultry farmer from Birore village. Karemi was the sole supplier for eggs and chicken in her village before the economy hit hard. She is now left with less than 100 chickens from the over 3,000 that she reared.
Unaketi chini na una calculate hiyo sasa. Unaona sasa tumapato imeanza kwenda chini, ikafika pahali hata sasa ikakuwa hata hakuna.
Embu Agricultural Show of Kenya branch chairman John Mukundi has warned against a looming hunger crisis should fuel prices remain as they are.
Kitu ya kwanza hakutakuwa na chakula katika Embu kukikuwa na ukame, kwa sababu tutakuwa tunasema ya kwamba we can only feed a quarter of the population.
This as the debate on the unprecedented fuel prices continues to elicit mixed reactions among Kenyans and leaders in the country. Andrin Kilemi, TV 47.
Elsewhere, more than 40,000 residents of Isiolo and Laikipia County are at risk of starvation following crop failure due to harsh climate conditions. Currently, hundreds of them are dependent on relief food, as Sharon Baranga now reports.
Farms in Laikipia County are drying up. The rains have failed farmers in this area for months, forcing them to seek for relief food.
Hapa kwetu tuko na njaa. Na njaa yetu ni kwa sababu hatuna maji ya kulima, na tukipata maji ya kulima tutaweza kujisaidia sisi wenyewe, kwa sababu hatuwezi kusaidiwa na mtu.
Jua imesidi karibu miezi 8-7 hivi hatujaona mvua. Lakini kwa bahati ya Mungu iko msamaria mwema ambaye alitembelea hapa akaona vile watu wameteseka, vile wamekuwa karibu kukufa ni njaa, na akaenda mahali na katujali. Siku ya leo anatuletea chakula.
Solio and Tegithi are the worst affected areas. Currently, more than 40,000 residents are at risk of starvation.
Serikali imesahau ni sisi. Kila serikali inashughulika naye sana ni hali ya politics. Kusema hali ya mirengo, kusema hali ya Mauti Kenya, na inaambia watu tutawaambia pahali mtaenda, lakini hawatuletei chakula.
Bado mifugo inakufa, watu wengine wanalala njaa. Bado ukiangalia bado kuna watu bado hawana kazi. Shida zimekuwa mingi. Kama leo hizi mahindi tumepewa garani 2 na hizi bado nditosha.
Kama watu wetu wanaweza kuwa na maji, wanaweza kuwa wanalima, wanapata chakula ya tumbo zao ya kuuza na kutafuta utajiri. So tunaomba serikali, tumejua kwamba kiangazi imekuwa national disaster. Tunaomba serikali na viongozi ambao wako kwa viti, wabunge, senator wa Laikipia, wakuje pande hii, wasaidie wananchi kwa sababu wananchi wako na shida ya chakula. So ni tunaomba serikali na wale tulishagua wasaidie watu na boreholes za maji, kwa sababu wakipata boreholes wataweza kulima na wakilima maisha yao itabadilika. Hakuna siku yoyote tutapatia watu chakula.
This month, President Uhuru Kenyatta declared drought a national disaster. Counties in the northern part of the country are the worst hit. Sharon Baranga, TV47.
From drought, let's get to matters health, and Kenya has today received a consignment of 47,000 packs of 50 milligrams of DTG and 28,000 packs of 10 milligrams of the same from the UN Family and Clinton Health Access Initiative, respectively, in a bid to optimize treatment for children living with HIV/AIDS. The newly formulated strawberry-flavored drug that are a first in Kenya are expected to increase drug compliance among children, as Zainab Mohammed now reports.
In an ongoing acceleration program to implement transition of children living with HIV and AIDS from ART regimens to DTG-based regimens, the country received a consignment of 40,000 packs of 50 milligrams of DTG and 28,000 packs of 10 milligrams of DTG.
Children and adolescents have for the past 3 years been put on optimized regimens such as DTG to ensure faster viral suppression is achieved, as we seek to ensure that all infants born to HIV-infected mothers have access to prompt HIV diagnosis and treatment, and those infected are treated to ensure longevity and good quality life.
The newly formulated strawberry-flavored drugs that are a first in Kenya are expected to increase drug compliance among children, as they are said to have low toxicity level, high potency, high genetic barrier to HIV drug resistance, and even fewer drug-to-drug interactions.
Imagine you're a mother or a father of maybe 3-4 children, and one of them is on this regimen, another is on a different regimen, and you're having to administer a drug to your child, and your child is crying, is not taking the drug because the drug does not test good, it doesn't have good compliance. Imagine then giving this mother something that the child actually looks forward to. There's one gentleman and woman who told us, these days, the child is one who reminds me it's medicine time. And that's profound, because that means the child is now taking an initiative in their own care and treatment. It means that the child will then be able to continue taking the drugs and will comply, will gain weight, and will have good outcomes.
Out of the over 1.2 million people living with HIV currently on antiretroviral therapy, 68,011 are children below the age of 15 years. Zainab Mohammed, T47.
Thank you, our health reporter Zainab Mohammed, for that report. You're watching TV47 News tonight. Time for us to take a short break. Stay with us. We still have a lot lined up for you.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful on what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
What we are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to more news. And more than half the number of pupils at Mary Gwit Primary School in Olmoran, Laikipia County, are yet to report back to school a week after schools resumed in Olmoran following weeks of banditry attacks. Reconstruction of classes that were touched by bandits has begun, as head teachers now call for psychosocial support for teachers and pupils. Mwangi Maina has the details.
Depend on each other.
66 pupils at Mary Gwit Primary School are yet to report back to school, with some classes having less than 10 pupils. The school suffered banditry attacks after bandits torched some classrooms and destroyed infrastructure. Out of the 125 pupils, only 59 have reported back.
On Monday last week, there were two. Now then two from there, they keep on increasing up to Friday, where there were 48. And now today, they are 59. So in fact, the number is now encouraging. And we are hoping that the other people who have not turned up, they are to resume soon.
The head teacher is appealing to parents to bring back their children as security in the area has been beefed up. A KDF camp has been established few meters from the school. Laikipia County First Lady Maria Mbeneka, who toured the school, has promised to support the school with infrastructure as well as establishing psychosocial support for pupils and teachers.
I, as the head teacher, encourage them to come because we have got the support of the government. In fact, the police is now calm. We have got even a KDF camp over there, and it is assisting us.
I've been on a tour on this general area from Olmoran and the surrounding areas, and I have seen that women and men are back on their shambas, cultivating, and are expecting a bumper harvest. So it is my prayer that these people will come back, and those who are unable to, we are making all efforts to trace them and assist them in any way possible to make sure that they are back home.
The reconstruction of the classrooms that were touched by bandits has kicked off, with the school expecting to receive back the students who are yet to report back to school. Meanwhile, calls for peaceful coexistence among communities residing in Laikipia dominated the International Peace Day commemorated at Rumuruti Stadium.
Mtu mwenye factory ya kutengeneza hii viatu na mwenye factory ya kusafisha ngozi atafikaje hapa Rumuruti ikiwa akifungulia runinga anaona vile tunachoma matairi, tunakimbizana hapa na marungu, tunakimbizana hapa na mapanga, wengine hata mabunduki wako naye? Atakuja hapa kweli?
Na amani, mambo inayumba, mambo inaenda kombo, hata utulivu unapotea. Hivyo basi, wakaaji wa Rumuruti, wakaaji wa Olmoran na Laikipia kwa kijumla, na waomba tudumishe amani.
Watu ambao wanakaa katika sehemu hizi za Laikipia wawe na roho mtakatifu wa Mungu, ili wasizidi kuchochea watu wapigane na wafanye mambo mengi, waimbe ng'ombe za watu.
Residents have accused some local leaders of opposing a security operation to disarm those who have acquired guns illegally, claiming they are abetting cattle rustling. Mwangi Maina, TV47.
Let's get to some politics now, and ODM leader Raila Odinga has yet again faulted Deputy President William Ruto's bottom-up economic approach model, which he says will not solve Kenya's problems. Raila spoke during a burial in Nakuru. Joash Onsare reports.
As the 2022 general election draws near, ODM boss Raila Odinga continues to popularize his 2022 presidential bid. Raila, who attended a burial in Molo Tuesday, challenged his opponent, Deputy President William Ruto, to be realistic in his narrative on job creation. Odinga is working on a 17-point agenda for young people. The plan, which envisages creating a national boda fund and local assembly units for motorbikes, is seen as a move to rival Deputy President William Ruto's hustler narrative.
Na ndani ya miaka 30 China imetoa watu milioni 300,000, 300 million people from poverty to prosperity. Inawezekana. Lakini sio kama unawaambia watu kazi ni kazi. Hata kazi ya chura ni kazi.
Baba ni mtu ambaye ameona mengi. Wajana hii wanasiasa saa hizi wamekuja siku hizi hii ya kama Chinese wanatembea kila pahali. Hii China. Hii watu original hii ya German. Wajana hii Chinese hii kuku ya grade hii ya broilers. Sisi kuna kuku ya kienyeji hapa.
Nimeona pia umesema katika agenda za 2022 lazima tuongee maneno ya economy. So for that, can you clap for him? He has done very well and he has agreed we must talk about economy. Na ndio mnasikia tukisema hii maneno ya bottom up na waelezea pia akona yake hata kwa blueprint yake ya youth. Nimeona amerecognize boda as a very 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 important sector.
Yule ambaye atakuja kuomba kura ya rais asitucombine na watu wa Mount Kenya. Kwa sababu watu wa Mount Kenya wanaongea kuhusu kahawa, wanaongea kuhusu majani chai, wanaongea kuhusu miraa. Sisi hatujaiona majani chai, sisi hatujaiona kahawa katika hii area yetu. Sisi tunajua viazi, tunajua mahindi na tunajua misitu yetu ambayo tutakuwa tuna harvest.
Raila joined other leaders present to condemn corruption in government, terming it a barrier in achieving economic sustainability and reducing poverty in the country.
Ambaye sasa ile mtu anaingia pale, yeye nimembamba kama sindano. Baada ya mwaka mmoja miaka mbili amefura kama kupe. Ambaye ameshafionza damu ya ng'ombe kabisa.
Do not create poverty in our society, make our children poor, and then later become a savior. But you're the creator. If you kill all these institutions, if you kill Perethram, if you kill KFA, if you take all the institutions for research to help us improve our agriculture, itakuwa haja gani sasa kuja kusema tusaidia watoto?
Ruto allies led by Senator Susan Keheka accused the senior government officials of intimidating DP Ruto's allies.
We shall not allow anybody to take us away from peace. But stop selling fear. You are talking like there is imminent war coming.
The leaders further calling for peace of next year's polls.
Tunataka elections ya amani na tunataka tukae kama Wakenya wa amani. Shida zenyu ni shida za Wakenya wote.
Mimi nataka tu, sitaki wafuasi. Nataka washirika. Tunaenda pamoja kama washirika. Sawa sawa.
Joash Onsare, TV 47.
Deputy President William Ruto has accused Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka of fronting his own interests ahead of the interest of Ukambani region. The DP, who met his allies from Ukambani region, says the region has remained underdeveloped for lack of a better representation.
Deputy President William Ruto has yet again hit out at Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, accusing him of selfish political interest without considering development in his home turf.
Mumesikia watu wa Emali?
Speaking in Makueni County, the DP says he will not see other regions continue to develop while Makueni is still left behind.
Hatutaki watu wengine wawachwe nyuma. Watu wametuzoea, kila wakati wanakuja kutuambia tubadilishe katiba. Ati ipatikane cheo ya prime minister, ati ipatikane cheo sijui gani, ati wagawane mamlaka. Sisi tunawaambia safari hii kabla hatujabadilisha katiba, wacha tubadilishe uchumi kwanza.
Mimi iko mtu na blame kwa sababu ya hii maneno. Huyu mheshimiwa former Prime Minister Raila Odinga ambaye saa hii anafaa kuwa katika opposition, anafaa kuwa ndiye ana mark, anaangalia serikali vile inafanya matendo, lakini yeye aliwacha upinzani akaingia kwa serikali, akaanza kukula na serikali.
The DP told of his opponents who are still spreading a message that he will not be able to implement his bottom-up economic model, saying he has so far enabled the establishment of the standard gauge railway to operate effectively.
Mimi ndio Deputy President wa Republic of Kenya. Mnanielewa? Na mimi si mjinga. Na mimi si mlevi. Na mimi si wazimu. I know what I am saying. Sasa mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Emali. Si mimi ndio nimesaidiana na Uhuru tukajenga hii reli? Si tumeunganisha stima imefika watu milioni 8? Si tumefanya kazi hii yote. Sasa mnataka kuniambia ati kupanga vile huyu ambaye hana kazi atapata kazi, kupanga vile mama mboga na huyu wa biashara ya chini atapata pesa ya kufanya biashara, ati hiyo ni kazi ngumu kuliko ile ya kujenga reli?
Na viongozi ni aina mbili. Kuna wale viongozi wanaamini walipewa pesa ya Kenya wakae nayo juu ndio wajue vile tateremuka itufikie huku chini. Halo. Kuna wale viongozi wanaamini Kenya ni yao, walipewa na Mungu, watu simamie huko juu, wakae na pesa huko na ikibaki tufikie huku chini.
Kwa hivyo Emali, musimame na Hustler Nation, musimame na William Ruto mwaka ambao unakuja. Wale wanasiasa bado wako katika siasa ya zamani, mwisho wao umefika.
The second in command met his allies from Ukambani and some professionals from the region in Kajiado County for the better part of yesterday to discuss the Ukambani economic blueprint ahead of 2022 general elections. Paul Kirobi, TV47.
Thank you, Paul Kirobi, for that report. You are watching TV47 News tonight. Time for us to take a short breather. Stay with us.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories. Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and gypsum decoration on the top, the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
interiors.
We are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet Njoki, on the grind as business.
Welcome back. Now, efforts championed by a faction of Mount Kenya East leaders to foster a united front in a single party ahead of the 2022 general elections continues to elicit mixed reactions. A section of leaders from the region are, however, still opposed to the plan that is likely to see Governor Kiraitu Murungi as its party leader.
Efforts championed by a faction of Mount Kenya East leaders to foster a united front in a single party ahead of 2022 general elections continued to elicit mixed reactions and a variety of opposition from influential leaders in the region.
The party that we are going to unveil, of course, must meet the constitutional threshold of ensuring that it has a national outlook in terms of officials and representation. And however, we are aware that the politics of Kenya today, every party, although it has a national outlook, it has a backbone from where it operates. Which region of Kenya does it operate from? We will lay more emphasis to promote our party in Mount Kenya East as the backbone of the party.
Renowned lawyer Mugambi Manyara, who has been mandated by the leaders to find a suitable party, hinted that the party that will have the regional interest at hand will be unveiled in a fortnight after completion of paperwork. He stated that the Meru Governor Kiraitu Murungi is slated to be the party leader, a message that has sent a chill down spine on other leaders.
There is only one party leader in Mount Kenya East. The most experienced, a person who has never lost a single election for 30 years. I can call him the tallest political giraffe in Mount Kenya region. Is none other than the crocodile. Mheshimiwa Kiraitu Murungi. He will be our party leader.
Kwa hivyo vyama ya kutugawanya hapa sisi hatutaki. Tuko na msimamo. Na tunataka tuweze kuhesabu kura zetu upande huu wa Mlima Kenya, tuone inatosha, tuweze kusaidiana na Wakenya wale wengine, tujue sisi tutakuwa wapi kwa hiyo serikali mpya.
Sisi tukiwa wabunge wa Meru, tuko na nafasi ya kutosha kuwakilisha watu wetu katika chama cha UDA na kufanya yale mazungumzo kwa niaba yao. Kwa hivyo si lazima tuwe na chama cha eneo la Meru ndivyo tuweze kusikilizana.
As such, Kiraitu has told off former Meru Governor and CS Agriculture Peter Munya to keep off the regional's politics as he has for long played their traitor, notwithstanding his calls for a united region.
Munya has never formed a political party. Even the PNU, which he claims to be associated with, was formed by me.
Inawezekana hiyo nikuwe na candidate hapa na mbosi wangu wako na candidate. Inawezekana kweli. Lakini kunao wanafanya hiyo.
We are studying a signal that we don't anything short of the deputy president position in this region, and preferably a presidential a deputy presidential candidate from the Mount Kenya East region.
The region is perceived as a vote rich, with every presidential aspirant eyeing on the borough. For TV47, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Elsewhere, Sigalame High School in Samia, Busia County has been closed indefinitely after a fire razed one of the dormitories on Monday night. This, however, is the fourth fire incident the school has witnessed since the reopening of this term. Angry parents have faulted the school's management for failing to establish the cause of the fire. They have, however, vowed to deny them entry into the facility and demanded their transfer for normalcy to return within the institution.
Tunaomba mabadiliko ifanywe before Friday. Kama haitafanywa, mimi mwenyewe na watu wengine tutasimama katika mlango, hakuna mtu ataingia kwa hii shule.
Tumeleta watoto wetu hapa kusoma, lakini ni kama tumewaleta hapa kuchomwa. Hii domu ambayo imechomeka mwisho, hii domu ni domu ya 4. Na hawa watoto walirudi tu wiki jana kuanza kusoma kabla ya domu ingine kuchomeka.
Magoha looks too callous. It's not sensitive to the plight of this school. The department and the Ministry of Education is too insensitive. Because ukiangalia kwa barua ambazo zina circulate, chairman wa bodi hii, ndugu Victor Dongo, alishaandika barua, akapeana department, na akademand transfer of the principal and the deputy. Nothing has happened.
From Samia in Busia County, let's get to the coastal capital of Mombasa. And as the world marked International Peace Day today, residents of Mombasa, led by human rights organizations, marked the day in Kisauni. The event aimed at enlightening the youth on countering violent extremism and crime to create close working relationship between security forces and communities. Petronila Goren attended the event and has filed the following report.
Addressing the media, Matthias Shipeta of Haki Africa reiterated on the importance of awareness campaigns amongst the youth towards peace building ahead of next year's polls.
Muhimu wa siku ya leo ni kuwa tutaleta vijana ili kuweza kuwaelimisha katika masuala ya peace, masuala ya radicalization, masuala ya violent extremism, ili wajue umuhimu wa kudumisha usalama wao wenyewe na wasitumiwe na wanasiasa, haswa tunapoelekea katika wakati wa kupiga kura ya 2022.
The human rights defenders have called out the youth to be vigilant in the society and engage in positive activities, especially with the upcoming 2022 elections.
Bila amani, bila upendo, hakuna jambo litaweza kuendelea. Hakutakuwa na maendeleo yoyote, na hata ukiangalia vile kuko mandhari ni tofauti. Ndio maana tunajaribu kuchange the narrative of radicalization, issues of violence, extremism.
In the event that was attended by representatives from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and the County Government of Mombasa, politicians were warned against inciting youth to engage in criminal activities.
Tulivyoona siku chache sasa zilizopita, kumekuwa na siasa za chuki, siasa za kikabila, siasa ambazo zinagawanya badala ya kuleta watu pamoja. Kwa hivyo ujumbe wetu unakwenda kwa wanasiasa, wahakikishe siasa wanazoziendeleza ziwe ni siasa za kuleta Wakenya pamoja.
Ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kuambia vijana wetu wasithubutu, wasikubali kudanganywa ili walete vurugu katika masehemu yao ya makazi. Wanasiasa wanakuja leo, wanakwenda, sisi ndio tunabaki pamoja nao.
Stakeholders are concerned with the heightened political temperatures in the country, calling on the political parties and politicians to be responsible for their deeds. As the world marks International Peace Day, peace stakeholders are urging Kenyans to be on high alert, not to be used by politicians to destabilize peace in the country. Petronila Goren, TV47 in Mombasa.
Elsewhere, 8 communities in Isiolo County have so far presented various land claims to the National Land Commission as Tuesday marks the deadline for the submission of complaints across the country. Among the communities is Isak and Hati community that today lodged claims at the Isiolo Ardhi House, hoping to get back thousands of acres they claim have been lost over the years. David Mudoka reports.
Tuesday morning at Ardhi House in Isiolo County, members of the Isak and Harti community were here ready to beat the September 21st deadline issued by the National Lands Commission for the submission of land complaints at various NLC offices across the country. The community, among 8 communities in the Eastern County, to submit their claims to Ardhi House following amendments to the National Land Commission Act that have since paved
paved the way for the Land Commission to receive and investigate all historical land injustice complaints. According to leaders of the Isak and Harthi community, the pastoralist community has so far lost up to 1,068 square miles within Isiolo and its environs in a series of events that began with the 1963 to 1967 Shifta War.
Hatuna kibali ama hatuna haki ya kutamka kama ni ardhi yetu. Watu wanaenda pale wafuge mifugo, lakini hautakuwa na haki ya kuimiliki kwa sababu wameshadegazeti kama leased area.
According to them, efforts to reclaim the land have proven futile, making them strangers in their own land.
Mali imeenda, ng'ombe imeenda, mbuzi imeenda, nyumba yetu zimechomwa, tumemagwa, tumewekwa bula pesa. Na sisi tukisema tunatafuta haki yetu, watu waelewe. Hii si siasa, tunatafuta haki yetu, Harthi na Isak, sisi ni wenyeji wa Isiolo.
Na hiyo ardhi tunataka tupewe sheria, turudishiwe, kwa sababu ni ardhi ambayo tulikuwa tunaishi kama malishi. Ni ardhi yetu, tulikuwa tunafanya uchungaji na tunaishi kama livestock people.
The community is among tens of communities in the country that will now train eyes on the National Land Commission, whose focus now shifts to reviewing claim by claim. And with fingers crossed, the Isak and Harthi community will be hoping that the files of evidence it submitted to Ardhi House on Tuesday will meet the threshold, and with that, set plans in motion to regain the land it claims to have lost. David Mudhoka, TV47.
To business news now, and Crown Motors Group today launched the new Nissan Magnite at its Nairobi showroom. The compact SUV will be available in two variations: the Ascenta worth 2.7 million shillings and the Ascenta Plus, which is worth 3 million shillings, which has additional features such as LED headlights and 360 cameras. Take a look.
Here we are launching Nissan Magnite. Now the word Magnite is actually a combination of two words, magnetic and ignite. So we are not going to just stay back and complain about what the economy is doing, what's happening. We are actually out there making the additions, making the progress, making things better, not just for ourselves, but offering it to everybody.
Nissan in Kenya are actually very thrilled to be launching Magnite into the compact SUV market in that segment of the market today. And with this dynamic vehicle, we now have a product offering that we can now cater for the segment and actually cater for all our customers' needs. So again, something to be very excited about as Crown Motors and Nissan in Kenya. Nissan has always been a leader in the Kenyan automotive market and a partner that you can trust. And with the Magnite now being part of our product range, we can offer our customers so much more. It's a compact vehicle offering comfort,